So in this video, I want to make not a love letter to Las Vegas, but tell you how Vegas changed my life fundamentally and how maybe it'll change yours, and maybe it will change yours in a positive way like it did mine. And I want to tell you guys why I love it here, why I think this place is underrated in many different ways. And I've been living here for a while. My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. I hope you guys would like, share, subscribe, and leave us a comment below and let us know, would you ever consider moving to a place like Las Vegas, or is it just not your kind of town? I also want to ask a question at the start of this video and say, what does Las Vegas, Nevada and Tijuana, Mexico have in common? Aside from the fact that I personally, Steven, has personally lived in both places, what else do they have in common? And we're going to answer that at the end of this video. In this video, I'm going to tell you why I'm making this video. It's a video for people who are thinking of moving here. We're going to go through some quick negatives and we're going to talk about the positives. I'm going to tell you guys how Vegas saved my life. 3 things in my life saved me. My wife, Caroline, and moving to Las Vegas, and God. Those are the 3 things that fundamentally changed me, and why this place is forever going to have a place and be a place for people to come to, and why I think it's resilient and essentially bulletproof no matter what happened. And I think COVID proved that. So yeah, hit the bell after you subscribe. You guys get notifications on my videos. We do a lot of videos. I think I have over 1,000 videos here on this channel. Something for everybody: vlogs, live streams, analysis, and so on and so forth. I was making a video earlier today. It got negative real fast. Negative like all the COVID tests I took in the last few weeks. So I was losing my breath though. I was doing a video on rising prices on hotels and things in Las Vegas and asking questions about if, you know, that the inflation will keep pace and all that complicated stuff. But I kept running out of breath. And maybe that was God's way of saying, stop being negative, you know? And I've taken so many COVID tests. I was really sick. I didn't live stream for 3 weeks, but I'm better now, except that I run out of breath and I cough randomly and I have headaches sometimes. So you tell me what you think that is in the comments below. But at the same time, it got me to thinking, why is it that we don't talk about things like the positives and the beauty of this place? You know, sometimes my wife Caroline and I will be driving around and we will see a sunset and I will say, look at that sunset. I mean, it's gorgeous. You know, this place is criminally underrated. The state of Nevada, Las Vegas, Southern Nevada, criminally underrated in terms of how beautiful it really is as a state. People don't consider it because it's a lot of desert. The mayor of Oakland a few weeks ago called Las Vegas the gross desert. I think that's very, very not right to say. I don't think it's true, but that's just my opinion. And, you know, things like that are overlooked by the glitz and glamour of the main strip. And I wanted to make a video to talk about the positives of the city. Quickly, negatives of moving here. If you're a person who's running away from problems, don't come here, but that's probably good advice for anybody. Don't just switch cities because your problems tend to follow you and you end up in another city with problems that are just wearing different clothes based on the weather. And if you're a gambler or if you're a drinker, I mean, we have no last call and obviously the casinos are going all the time. So if you need that dopamine hit, you got to get those GABA receptors working. You might have problems out here, but maybe you won't. I know somebody who's been in recovery for 24 years and, you know, doesn't touch a drop of alcohol, and he's an awesome guy. So it really depends. So, you know, if you're coming out here for those reasons, you're probably going to have a bad time. But if you're coming out here for the right reasons, holy cow, you have the entire world in front of you. So Vegas saved my life. Okay. Vegas saved my life. And it would not be possible for me to be having an audience without this city and without you guys here and without my wife. So I met my wife here in town and she saw something in me that nobody else saw. I mean, before I moved to this town, I never made even more than $1,000 Canadian a month. And that was Canadian money. And back in 2004, I think the exchange rate was as low as 60 cents on the dollar at a point. So $600 US a month. And I went to work with a relative down in SoCal, and then I came here and I met my wife and I stayed, and it was amazing. I mean, I'd never really known any Filipinas, and she's a Pinay, just like our channel sponsor, by the way. Let's do our channel sponsor right now, Pinay Magazine, over on Instagram. And so I want to take an opportunity to thank my wife and Pinay Magazine because they are an Ethereum 2.0 validator. That's one of those crypto things. And they go to showcase the global Pinay in the world. And Pinay is a woman of Filipino origin. The first issue is going to have Pinays from North America. Future issues will have Pinays from Australia, New Zealand, the UK, the EU, the GCC group of countries, that's places like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Dubai, those kinds of places. They buy billboard space on the Strip here in town to promote their brand. They have a new one starting up very soon in the center of the Strip. So check them out on Instagram by clicking the first link below. And also TKEX Exchange over on Instagram. Great way to grow Ethereum crypto. And you can contact me for more information by finding my email below. So getting back to it, first thing to say in my life, finding my wife. She gave me an opportunity to be here. Second thing was this town. Now, I will skip you and spare you the details, but I screwed up my opportunities in this town for a very long time. But what I learned in screwing up the opportunities is that, it's like my wife said, every day you go outside, you go down the street to the left or to the right. One way is going to be opportunities. The other way is going to be terror and badness. And I took the wrong way for a long, long time. I didn't end up in trouble with the law or anything like that, but I ended up working a commission-based job, promoting timeshare, and not really making anything happen with it, making excuses instead of making money. The pandemic came around. The jobs on the Strip went away. I started working with somebody else who was a very awesome Christian person selling advertising. He invited me to church. My wife pushed me even further. And the third thing that saved me was God. And this town gives me a purpose. And that's what it is. This town gives me a purpose to go and do photography or videography or read the news on this town and deliver the news to you guys and build a community around the Not Leaving Las Vegas that is something that, bar none, I don't think many other YouTube channels have. And it drives me to try to create good things for you. And it really stimulates my mind and my brain. And that's one way that Las Vegas as a city was able to help me be more of a better version of me. I made so many mistakes in my life, and one of the biggest mistakes was not exploring what makes me tick. And it's easy to say, oh yeah, well, that's easy for you to say. All you do is talk into a camera. But no, I mean, for years while I did this channel, I didn't have a channel sponsor, and I didn't have live streams with all of you angels that God delivers to me, blessing me and my wife with super chats and likes and shares and stuff like that. I had a regular job that I ground through. But doing the video content opened up a part of me that helped me better communicate part of myself to you, if that makes sense. So if you're coming here and you're thinking of moving here and you're a motivated person to experience something new, it doesn't matter whether or not you want to open up a plumbing business because you're a great plumber and eventually end up doing plumbing jobs for gazillionaires, or if you go work at the casino job and you end up running the floor one day, because it's got all of those opportunities built into it. And it's a place where opportunities are always going to thrive. It's always going to be a place where there's never a dull moment as long as you're looking for it to take advantage of it. But you have to go out there and get it. It's not going to come to you. I remember I got into, Think and Grow Rich, which is a great book that everybody should read. But the problem is, it's not Think and Grow Rich. It's Think and Do and Grow Rich if you decide to do the actions that are required by it. So the positive thinking is there, but you got to plant the seeds in the good soil and then water it. Ain't nothing going to grow otherwise. It's not a miracle. So that's the kind of place that this is. Now, COVID proved it. COVID and coronavirus proved it. The casinos did the whole thing where they said, okay, well, we need to make money and COVID is busting us down. Some casinos like Phil Ruffin over there at Treasure Island ripped out their buffet and placed in a brand new sports book. And they knew, because they're smart and they looked for ways to make money, which you got to do in a place like Vegas. They knew that when the sports came back, people would be betting a lot of money on sports, and they were dead rights, and that carried them for a little bit, right? And, now the town is back to 100%, which just goes to show that there ain't nothing that's ever going to take this place down. And that goes back to the first video that I was doing today. It was a negative video on this place, in a way, because it was asking, is Vegas pricing itself out of letting regular, good, hardworking folks from middle America come to the city when it's $250 a night to stay at a hotel like the Link or the Sahara? But that's the deal with it, right? Let's say there is a massive global recession and food prices are up X amount of percentage points in 9 months. What'll this city do? It'll just adjust and dial back. And that's what it always does, because it's forever changing, which is also the attitudes that we have to take for ourselves, I suppose. Because there was 2 types of people that I would call. Remember, I told you I was selling advertising before this to people like realtors and doctors. And I would call realtors about 4 months after the reopening. And you had 2 types of realtors. One type of realtor said that they lost all their business during COVID, and the other realtors said that they were busier than they had ever been. Mind you, 4 months after COVID had hit, real estate was still off the charts, and it still is. Gosh, we have to buy a house, and it's a scary proposition when you get paid in crypto and it's hard to get a loan. But mind you, that's not the point of this. That's because one type of realtor listened to the scary news on the television and stopped working and hid in their, room, locked up, wearing a mask with 10 sheets on top of them, telling their spouse not to breathe on them. And the other type of realtor locked themselves in a room and got out their entire phone book of contact lists and called everybody that they knew on their list and touched base with them again and kept their pipeline, as it's called in sales, flowing. And then they put ads on Facebook, or they marketed themselves digitally, and they showed homes electronically, and they kept things going. That's the 2 types of people. And you have to be that kind of person in a town like Las Vegas to really get ahead. And people say, well, I can't get a job in the casino because I don't know the right person. Well, no, you can't get a job in the casino that you want to get a job at because you don't know the person in that casino. But a lot of people start at Poker Palace before they end up dealing, high card, 7 card, poker, obviously, to people over at the Aria or at the Bellagio. So it always takes a process. It's a journey. But if you're willing to put in the journey, I believe that this is that place, and COVID proved it. The casinos proved it by pivoting and changing and rapidly kind of slipping through. They basically floated like a butterfly and stung like a bee, like Muhammad Ali, whereas now they can just punch as hard as they possibly can, like Tyson. I'm not good at sports references, but I think you understand what I'm saying with all this, right? Point is, this is a place where I think the opportunity exists for anybody who wants to put in the effort. And I think that that's really special about a town like Las Vegas. I think this place is, like I said, when it was all shut down, I said, Vegas isn't dead, it's just sleeping. It's going to wake up, it's going to have a massive hangover, and everything's going to be fine. Now it seems like business is back to normal, business is fine, and I just am happy enough to be here, and I'm so grateful that you guys could be here with me on this journey, and I thank all of you guys. First and foremost, obviously, I thank my wife. These are not in order. I thank my boss that took me under his wing and helped me out during COVID, and I thank God for saving me, and and all that good stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to make this video to talk about this place. And that's why this place is forever going to have a place in Americana. That's why this place is forever going to have a place for people to come and have an opportunity. And that's why we asked the question at the start of this video. What does Las Vegas, Nevada and Tijuana, Mexico have in common? One thing I noticed from a relative that lives in Tijuana is that Tijuana is like the last chance. He said it. I mean, he's lived there for 15 years. He could be wrong. I don't know. He's not native Mexican, but he knows the culture. He said Tijuana is like one of the last places where you can come and you can make a buck. And if you're really good at it, you can make a business. And I think Vegas is the same way. I think we share that. It's a commonality. And I think Vegas is one of the last places in America where you can go and you can do something for yourself. And Tijuana is one of the last places in Mexico where you can go and you can do something for yourself. Where's the last place where you live if you don't live in America or Mexico? Is there a last place? Maybe, I don't know, where if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. It's New York, but maybe it's the New York casino in Vegas, not necessarily New York City. What's your make it there, make it anywhere? And where you're from. What's your last chance where you're from? Leave us a comment below. As always, my name is Steven. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for future notifications. Check out our channel sponsor, Panay Magazine and TKEX. They're both on Instagram. And check out our Patreon. You guys will get videos like this early. I want to thank you guys for watching. Now's the time of the video where I say 3, 2, 1, click, so I can look close to the camera best I can without impeding my mic too much, and say 3, 2, 1, and I really mean it. You guys are awesome. Click.